of fools on the hill. You must let my people go, so we can rule from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's hands, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we want to know who owns the land. I want to know who owns the land. Hustler. Hey, purpose land. Purpose land.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your only anchor man with the news talk show here at ABS Television. Thank you once more for tuning in. Please, here on the social media, the numbers are not jumping at all. I like to see the numbers jumping. I like to see the numbers jumping. And so if you are joining, you are already on the platform watching by way of Facebook, you go ahead, send the link to every WhatsApp group that you have out there, and of course all your Facebook groups too. Send the links to them and let us see the numbers jumping. I like to see the numbers jumping, ladies and gentlemen, as you join. The figures are really low. Gonna be having a very exciting show tonight, and I'd like you to make sure that you bring every Ambazonian out there to be part and parcel of the broadcast. Gonna be talking about two things, but before I get there, give me 1 minute. Don't touch your remote. I'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in and hitting the share button as you join. I like to welcome all of you joining in from Africa, the continental Africa, that is from Cape Town all the way to Egypt. No, Egypt is not there, Morocco is not there, Tunisia is not there, and Algeria is not there, but apart from this, every other country in Africa receives ABS. I'd like to welcome all of you tuning in from Africa, and of course, all of you from Europe, also from the continental USA, including Canada and South America. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, I'm gonna be bringing you two subjects here, very exciting subject. Our meeting in Washington, D.C. yesterday. Our meeting in Washington, D.C. yesterday. A very important meeting took place yesterday in Washington, D.C., attended by quite a handful of Ambazonian leaders and stakeholders at the Hudson Institute. the Hudson Institute in Washington, D.C. Gonna be bringing you some little briefings about that. Also, I have with me here tonight a very special Amber woman, one whom all of you, if you are an Amber, you already know. I am bringing her here to talk about events going on in her life and in the struggle. I am here referring to the one and only my Ngang. To call her with the names Edith Ngang. We know her in Ambazonia as Edith Ngang. So please go ahead, hit your share button, hit your share button. I want to see the numbers jumping before I come to you proper. But please go ahead, hit the share button. And let me remind you on Facebook that again, we are changing our Facebook platform beginning next week. We are changing our Facebook platform beginning next week. We've been going through a lot of trials here on this Facebook page. We used to have thousands tuning in to watch. But suddenly Facebook stopped sending out notifications each time we come to you live. To the extent we even struggle to get the hundreds. For that reason, we are changing the page. We are navigating away from the page. Beginning Monday, we shall be coming to you from a new Facebook platform so that you can receive notifications. You can receive notifications every time that we come on. We have close to 20,000 subscribers on this platform, this page here. But unfortunately, Facebook doesn't send out the notifications each time we are here. We are navigating to a new page so that when we come on live, Facebook can then send those notifications to you. So please, if you are just joining, I crave your indulgence to go ahead, quickly hit the share button, send it out there to as many people as you can. Now, while you do that, I'd like to come to you again, share some light with you about our meeting yesterday in Washington, D.C. This is just a brief briefing. A formal statement from the meeting of Washington, D.C. Yesterday will be coming out either late today or sometime tomorrow. But a few of us, leaders and stakeholders in the Ambazonian struggle, met yesterday in Washington, D.C. in a meeting hosted or put together by the Hudson Institute in Washington, D.C. Now, the Hudson Institute is one of the political think tanks in the USA. If you know of the Hudson, if you know of the Hoover Foundation, you know of the Heritage Foundation, you know of UCIP, United States Peace, International Peace Institute, you know of, that is what the Hudson Institute, that is the rank of the Hudson Institute. So the meeting yesterday was summoned by the Hudson Institute to bring Ambazonian leaders together. I can assure you that I think almost every Ambazonian leader was invited to that meeting. Did all attend? Of course not. There were many who were not able to attend for one reason or the other. But quite a number of us were there, and we also had a representative from the State Department, African Department there in that meeting. We had a representative from the Senate. We also had a representative from U.S. Congress and one from the Swiss Embassy present at that event. And there were about, I think, 17 or 16 Ambazonian leaders and stakeholders who were present at the meeting. Once the official statement is out, I shall be doing a special presentation on that meeting and the way forward. But I just want to give you the briefing as to what happened yesterday. So, a handful of Ambazonian stakeholders and leaders were there in that meeting, and there was only one agenda. They need to come together, speak a single message, take a single message to the international community so that we can then hope for their support to defend, to support Ambazonia. And I can assure you it was a very productive meeting. We all left there yesterday agreeing for one thing, that we all should go out there and tell the international community that, like every other conflict in the world between nations that has ended in a referendum, Ambazonians, the people of Ambazonia, needs a referendum as the most the easiest way to resolve this conflict. That is what we resolved yesterday, and everybody, every Ambazonian present there agreed that that is the way to go. And I could see in the faces of those from the United States Congress, State Department, the Swiss who were there, that they were quite happy. And I would not forget a remark that the representative from the State Department made. The representative from the State Department said, oftentimes Ambazonians have come to the U.S. government, and everyone and every group comes up with his or her own idea of what they want. And then by the time they leave and the different group comes, the U.S. government is left wondering as to what Ambazonians really want. But leaving yesterday, he said they were very satisfied that if all Ambazonians can fall behind this message of a referendum for Ambazonia, the USA will be now ready to stand up for Ambazonia, because they now would have known what the overwhelming majority of Ambazonians want. Now, I don't want to go into the nitty-gritties of a referendum. We will have time to talk about that. I know there are so many, few naysayers out there running their mouths all over the place on the social media and on television and saying, oh, federation is that, federation is this, federation, why should they, and so on and so forth. Fellow Ambazonians, you all know that before we endorse this idea, especially here at the interim government, we have brainstormed. We have brainstormed about it, and we don't take these decisions lightly. You can trust me about that. But I'm trying to say to you that in the days ahead, we shall open up the idea to all of you. Something good is on the way. Meanwhile, next Thursday, not tomorrow, but the next Thursday, we're going to be having an all-Ambazonian, they call it APP meeting. We want to invite every Ambazonian in the diaspora and on ground zero to join the APP meeting of next Thursday, to get some insight into what lies ahead. At that meeting, there was Pa Ndangam of Scapo at that meeting. There were people of Roa representing Goji Dinka. Of course, your interim government was represented by yours truly, and CDN was also there. And many other groups, people flew in from Canada and flew in from different locations in the USA. But again, in the days ahead, once the statement is out, the official statement is out, I will be here to enlighten you as to what we came out with from that meeting. But I can assure you, we have not had this opportunity for the past 6 years in counting that we have been in this struggle. It was a new day, and for the first time, every Ambazonian present in that meeting agreed this is the way to go, and this is the message that we take out going forward every day. The international community has to hear us speak the same message, Now, would a referendum cancel negotiations or mediations or dialogue, whatever title is given to it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what if none comes? What if none comes? We are still left with a referendum. What if negotiations come? Who knows? May still end with a referendum. So, comrade, we are not losing a bit. We are not losing a bit. But as I said, the official statement will be out either tonight or tomorrow. And once that is out, I believe either Friday or Monday, I shall be here to give you an exclusive expose. Exclusive expose as per what this thing about referendum will be all about. And God willing, I will also be coming to you with some of the comrades who were in that meeting of yesterday. All right, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I will now take you to the main subject of the day, which is my interview with Comrade Edith Ngang. But before I get there, I'd like to bring you, of course, as you know, my monologue. So please stay put in. Right after this, I'll bring you my monologue and then my Ngang. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put in there. Again, at this moment, I bring you my special presentation today. Focus on the sentencing of a number of Ambazonians recently here in the United States justice system. And one of them, very prominent, has been Edith Ngang. The woman Ambazonia refers to as Ngang. Last weekend, I had a brief conversation with Edith Ngang. Ambazonians who know her love to refer to her as Ngang. Ngang was in U.S. court last week for sentencing on charges related to attempted arms shipment to Ambazonia. I had planned to be in court in solidarity, but other commitments held me down. I couldn't make it there. The reason for the phone call that I made to her. But this is the story. 4 years ago, about so, Ngang and 10 other Ambazonians were indicted here in the USA and subsequently found guilty of attempted proliferation of firearms, where others contested the charges and had their days in court. Ngang pled no contest and was awaiting sentencing April 20th. That was last week. Here is where things stand as of now, as reported by Christmas Ebony, Eric Ng, Wilson Tita, Fongo Wilson. They went through 10 days trial and were found guilty to 3 out of 5 counts. They were sentenced to 63 months. Ernest Bangari, Macho Godwin, Anye Collins, Tamofo Michael, and Ngang pleaded guilty and didn't have to stand trial. Bangari was, however, was sentenced to 48 months. On April 20th, Ngang received the same sentence, 48 months too, imprisonment. Alambi, Walters, and Rogers Akim pleaded guilty, but took a deal with the prosecutors and testified against those who preferred to go on trial. Tabu Fawcett Michaels will be sentenced on the May 16 this year, that is next month. He is the last person still awaiting sentencing. The court has given Ngang up to 2 months to check in at the prison at any time convenient to her. At the moment, she's still to check in. Thanks, again, thanks to the beauty of the American justice system. But here is where the case of Ngang stands out and should be quite inspiring, very, very inspiring to all Ambazonians. She and others were picked up and accused of violating U.S. laws by trying to ship ammunition to defend Ambazonia, while others pled guilty and accepted a plea deal with the Justice Department to disclose and implicate other actors involved in the whole racket. Ngang, rather than go that route, chose to plead no contest. She chose to plead no contest. It saved her a trial, and money she fed ground zero deserved more. She preferred to serve time than enter a plea deal, ladies and gentlemen, like some who did drag others into the net. At her sentencing, Ngang, surrounded by loved ones and a handful of other Amber patrons, she could be seen rather smiling broadly, as if to say that if freedom for Ambazonia will mean her serving time in prison in the foreign country, so be it. That's what makes her a patriot of a kind. More so, Ngang is the first Amber woman in the diaspora going down in the history of our quest for independence, preferring to sacrifice her life and family to serve time in jail for Ambazonia. Hers is such an epitome of courage and selflessness. It is what every independence proponent in the diaspora ought to emulate. Ngang was in this struggle from day number one, making such sacrifices few women wanted to make. She served in the interim government too from the very inception of it. Ngang and I have never really been fond of each other. Apparently, she has always seen me as being too conservative. And I have nurtured my opinion of her too through the years. But at this moment, solidarity at this moment should trump our personal and group grudges and differences. This is what it means by one for all and all for one. We may have our group and individual differences, but one thing unites us all: the yearning for a free and independent country of our own called Ambazonia. It is unpatriotic for those who take to the social media trying to make a mockery of a patriot like Ngang and others facing the same jail time. Their act of bravery isn't any different from those of our other heroes who gave their lives and fell in the front lines. In this our crusade for freedom, it shouldn't have to take the ultimate sacrifice for us to acknowledge our heroes and heroines, of course, with our patriots. Ngang is one of them. Ngang and all the other comrades having to serve jail time in America have husbands, they have wives, and they have children too. They have been the breadwinners for those families. They have now lost their jobs, maybe businesses too. They will come out of jail with felonies in their records. And knowing what this means in America puts a kind of sting on them, at least for those who do not know them. All, all of this for their love of Ambazonia, for their love of freedom. If this isn't the equivalent of the ultimate sacrifice, then I don't know what else it is. I urge everyone to keep these families in prayer. A year in jail in America can be likened to 1,000 years in heaven. It is time that will never, ever be redeemed. But on the positive note of things here, I say this. This is why we have been told freedom isn't free and is not cheap. This is why we say we will have to fight for our independence all by ourselves. Nobody is going to fight for us. No foreigner is going to die for us or fight and go to jail for us. It is us, all of us. That's just the truth of it. The lessons we learn from Ngang and others are, as we fight this war, we should be ready to sacrifice all, including jail time. It can be very hurting seeing this level of sacrifice, and yet some others just sit back and criticize and won't support this struggle. You hear excuses like, until they all unite, I'm not going to support it. Until they start telling me what they are doing with the money, I won't support it, and so on and so on and so forth. These are lame excuses when you consider that others have sacrificed and died and some in jail. In spite of our many troubles and differences, those who fail to see the progress we have made are not being patriotic and honest to themselves, or maybe just looking for cheap excuses not to support this struggle. Please, if nothing else moves or inspires you to continue to support this struggle, remember people like Ngang and all others serving time for all of us. If we fail to support this struggle, our comrades in jail, especially those back in jails in La République du Cameroon, may never have life again when they are free. They may never have lives again when free. They would have sacrificed their lives for nothing. Let's learn from the courage and patriotism of fellow Ambas like these, and keep the struggle alive and strong until victory is pronounced on our side. That's my talking point. Hello, Ngang. It's pleasure to have you, man. Good to see you. You look beautiful. Can you?
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, I can. Yep.
Good to see you. So,
Yep.
some people will be wondering, Ngang, what are you still doing out there? You're supposed to be in jail by now. What are you still doing out there? Many people will ask, how are you still out now? I know I've mentioned something in that, in connection to that in my talking point, but many people don't understand the justice system here, that somebody will be sentenced to 48 months and she's still out. Tell them why you are still out now, please.
Well, I'm sure everybody heard they've seen the pronouncement from the courts, and generally they will take in people who are violent, people who have committed violent crimes, and all of that. So there are people going around saying that I was accused of terrorism. If that was the case, they probably take me in right away because you cannot terrorize when you don't use violence. So that's one evidence to show that I was not taken in because of terrorism, and it was not a violent crime. So I am not understanding what's going on, Chris. I can see you. Okay, sorry. I don't know how much of this you heard me say
I'm
because
hearing, I can
this.
hear everything you say.
Okay, so should I just keep talking even when I see like we are out of sync?
Go ahead and just keep talking. If I need to interrupt you, I will. The good thing is you can hear me and I can hear you.
Okay. So all I was trying to say is to first of all use your first question to debunk the notion of um, people saying that I was charged for terrorism. That there was no such a thing. There never is going to be such a thing, because any nation that attempts to call us terrorists will have to hear from us, because upon all the crimes that they can see being committed on our people, all the disguised crimes that the oppressor, La République du Cameroon, disguises like our boys and go and kill our own people and then blame us for it. The international community is seeing that, they are aware of it, they allow it to happen because they are not sending in any fact finding mission to go and establish who is actually committing what crime. So long as they stay not doing that, they have no, they don't have the upper hand to then declare any terrorism on us, because we are the victims. We did not call war upon ourselves. Somebody declared war. When you declare war, you're declaring that violence be used upon people. And once you do that, if the people have chosen not to roll over and die, then they will have to fight back. And if they are fighting back, then they are fighting, violence occur. But to say both people are using violence is not, is a real statement of falsehood,
So
because
what were the three? Was it three counts or two? I think there were five counts in totality. You were convicted of two. Am I correct? Or three?
well, without going into the terminologies of law, I'll just say they are saying that there are two things I did.
Okay.
One is that I helped in transporting weapons without a license.
Uh huh.
The second one is that I conspire. So I'm assuming that if they could pinpoint the first one, then the second one, they are just making a statement of me having associated with.
Correct.
Those are the two. Mhm.
Correct. So the charge of terrorism was never brought up.
No, the people propagating that, they know that I'm not being charged of terrorism. They know, they just want to use it with the hope that they can shout it out there long enough, and then some people start picking it up.
But you
But there's
know
no,
that
if there's ever going to.
Cameroon and their agents out here, they are they salivate with messages and decisions like this, and they will like the world to feel like they are all behind this. Whereas this is all about the U.S. justice system. Cameroon had zero, nothing to do with it. Correct?
That's correct. To the extent that the law is being used to reprimand me for breaking the law, Cameroon has nothing to do with it. The
Correct.
the the fact that um, America is a law-abiding nation is why we all come here, because with that there's order. Even if I think that my sentencing was harsh, or that there are ways that through the law they could have reduced my sentence or not, I have to start by establishing that I am appreciative of America, that they have some kind of a law that you can be rest assured that they will follow it, even if the judge was not gracious to the extent I wanted him to be, to allow me go. At least there's some lawlessness. How does my trial here help the mess we are calling Cameroon? going to clean it up? How does my trial and being sent to jail help the hijacking that has taken place at the leadership in Cameroon? Somebody has to answer me that question forever. I am an American. I'm in America. How does my putting me in jail? I would like that at some point in time, maybe we'll get feedback from the Cameroon government. Let them explain to me the mess that they've had. They've made their citizens delusionary. They themselves don't know whether they are coming or going. When you look at the level of greed, you know they are bound to have conflict. You look at that nation that was brought from 61 or 2 years ago till now. Have they gone forward? What? How does my incarceration help them? 3, 4 years is not forever. It will come and pass.
Right.
How would that help them? Is my question.
Now, some others indicted with you in the same case contested the charges and stood trial. One person actually then cooperated with the Justice Department to implicate others involved. You choose no contest, and you have said you did so because you preferred not to go to trial and say anything more that could implicate any other person. So is it right to say you pled no contest just so you could save others?
The first thing is that the FBI in America has all the tools that they have to use to prosecute anybody. They don't need my help. Secondly, my nation, America, which I proudly say, and I'm saying this because, you know, when you come to America, you once you become an American, you're an American. Just because some people came many years ago, they don't make them any more patriotic as an American than me. I do very patriotic things in America. I've contributed to this nation. So I, as an American, I consider the actions that I take to make sure that my country is not put in harm's way. I felt going on trial would be like giving a collective punishment to taxpayers, taking them through all this every day, going back and forth to court, stressing myself out, stressing the system out, giving everybody work to do. I didn't see how that was going to help anything. That's one. Secondly, the people I work with in trying to help our people fend off La Republique from their wicked action of attacking them are dear friends. They are people I hold in very high esteem. There are people who are ready to give up everything they have to correct a wrong done unto people who don't have much. So I was not going to put myself in a position where they were going to ask me questions that I have to be talking against their interests. And I was not interested in lying in any court, belittling and humiliating the court by lying in there. So to minimize the opportunity to start going away from my character, I opted to have the court system do with it what they wanted to. They have the yam, they have the knife, and I gave them the opportunity to cut it largely or small, and they chose to cut it very small, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
I would like to know, and I believe many out there too would like to know, what did the judge ask you specifics on the conflict in the southern Cameroons? Do they want to know what is going on there?
Well, by the time I came to court, I had been given some opportunities to have friends write letters, and my lawyer wrote explaining as far as the case goes. I know Judge Barnett is not an illiterate. He knows what is going on. He knows the geopolitics of what is going on. So before I came to court, I was aware that the judge would have informed himself of what is going on. So when I came prepared myself to present myself for him to see who I am and to use his last ditch effort, which is what? The Constitution of America gives federal judges the latitude to go lower than the sentencing guidelines, but they cannot go above it, so that nobody who has biases can punish. No judge who has extra biases can punish above a certain level, but they can come down. Well, I was hoping that I'm one of those favored ones, because I only think they can do that so that it can be used for when the judge favors whoever is judging, or he feels like. So I was hoping that geopolitics will not allow that. Let me take that back and say, I'm gracious. I came to this forum knowing that I'm a child of God. Anything that comes out of my mouth is only coming out because God permits it. Because it's either used to help liberate my people or to help discipline me more. If you understand what I've said
Yes.
plenty. What I'm saying though is that when I came, I was determined to use my own voice with the one opportunity I had to present myself for the way that I wanted the judge to know me as. And I think I did that. I did that because I think the judge was uncomfortable, even as he passed his pre-arranged sentence. He was uncomfortable that having come to know me, he still had to stick with what he came in intending to give me, because he was emphasizing the whole time that they have to do deterrence. So that told me that even if you felt like I was entitled to some mercy, your goal was not so much justice beyond what the law allows. That means you're not going to use your own allowance. You are just going to come and make sure you execute a cause, execute a judgment that emphasizes deterrence. That's all I kept hearing in court. I said, "Oh my God,
So
deterrence is what we
essentially,
come
you are
to
saying
here."
you felt like the judge empathized with you passing this sentence. That is your take, isn't it?
I think he would have done better, but there are circumstances that I don't wish to. Judge Richard D. Barnett is not the one on trial, so I don't want to make it an issue. We have a whole system at play.
Well,
So
the
I
question is
was not going to
important
try
because
to.
the question is important because I am looking at other Ambazonian comrades who may have to go through what you went through, and some are already there. You hear of some in Minnesota, in Missouri, in Missouri facing trial, and maybe who knows? Some may still have to follow after you. I just want to have a feel of the atmosphere in the court vis-a-vis the judges, because oftentimes we have the perception that the American courts understand what we are going through, the struggle, the killings, the humanitarian situation back home. And sometimes when these cases come before them, they temper justice with mercy. I don't know whether you had a feel of that.
Chris, I let me put it this way bluntly. Everybody that have been identified as having violated the law will serve
We
time.
face a lot. We serve time. Yeah, they say that in America, right?
Especially the 10 of us, these 10 of us people that have gone ahead. You will serve time. Whether you snitched or you didn't snitched, they will serve time. So that's me looking at everything,
Yeah.
because they don't want, if deterrence is the issue, then they don't want even people to do these things and then quickly up to work with the government, because they are hoping that they will have some giveaway. You have to understand that I felt in court like we were it was deterrence that was being dished out. What
Hold on, let me stop
if
you a
there was
little bit
another
there.
way that America could deal with the issue of trying to make sure that their laws are not being broken in this area, they would have used that. The only way that they made me understand is that they're going to use this. So that's it. I don't know if
I
I
still
answered your
don't
question,
understand
but
what happened to the comrade who pled no contest like you, but then went ahead to cooperate with the prosecutors against the other comrades who preferred to stand trial. What happened to him? What was his own
well,
sentence?
their sentences are coming, and they are coming last for strategic reasons.
Yeah,
I don't think that they want them to go ahead, being that they're going to get the list of the sentences. You don't want to put them ahead if you are any smart person. You put
prosecutor.
them
Yeah,
behind, because otherwise the lawyers of the other people will start using them and arguing, how come you are giving them just this and that. The prosecutors and the judges are smart, and we too are smart too, so we can understand what's going on. That's
right.
the important thing, Chris. The important thing about my interview here today is what I would like the Western world, especially my nation, America, to understand that Africa have children that have come of age. And we do understand what is going on. It is difficult when you are deceiving somebody, when you know it's easy deceiving somebody when you know they are not understanding. They don't understand your games, they don't understand what you do. But when they started understanding where they were being blindsided, it gets harder. It gets embarrassing to keep doing the same thing. You start looking at it, you start becoming like this insecure, desperate set of entity. And me, I get embarrassed to see my country, America, in that position. So I'm hoping as I keep coming out and more of us keep confronting our government here with things that they're supposed to be doing for our collective betterment, America and Africa as we are, that they will sooner or later start understanding that those of us who have level head and who have the interests of the both nations at stake, they will start leaning towards us. That's why I don't mix my words in certain things. I came here not to be politically correct. I'm just simply tired. When politics get into my kitchen as a mother, I have to jump out and start doing what needs to be done to make sure children are eating.
Right. Talking about being a mother, that is one of the question I was going to pose to you. As I stated in my, you have been very upbeat since this sentencing, in spite of the knowledge that you have 2 years, not 2 months, to serve in jail. I mean, you are a mother, a family woman, and a very successful businesswoman too. Does the thought of leaving all of this behind and going to prison to serve 48 months, that's about 2 years, does it stress you up?
Chris, 46 months is 3 years and 10 months. Okay, let me
Oh,
correct that.
okay.
Okay,
Oh, a
so
month is,
about the
a year
question you
is 12 months, yes.
so
Yes.
about the question you asked about what about my family and all of that. Um, there's no doubt that whenever a mother is pulled out of the family, there's an impact. Otherwise, mothers will not be necessary then. It's always going to be an impact. But what I have to say about that is what? Every event in life has two sides to it, negative, positive. The one that you concentrate the most on is what is going to affect you the most. This experience for me, when my friends ask me, what do I tell them? I said, it's a vacation, courtesy taxpayers' dollar.
So it's a
It's
vacation, right?
an it's a vacation. My brother, I've never taken a vacation. Trust me, I've never taken a vacation. So it is a vacation, and I've never taken a vacation because
Listen,
I never.
you are taking it very
Wait,
lightly.
let me finish. Let
You
me
are
finish.
taking it very lightly.
No,
Yeah.
no, but
So
let me finish my explanation.
I have seen some people written here that prison in America is paradise. But as a
Chris,
family woman, as a woman with businesses, successful businesses, this must be very difficult and very hard. I mean, to say the least.
well, Chris, again, I would say it's a vacation, but I wanted to qualify that so that nobody
Okay.
thinks that I'm taking the element of deterrence lightly. I think it's good for America to cause people not to try to do what I did. That's fine. The point, the why I say it's a vacation is because truly I've never taken a vacation. I go to Africa always having humanitarian projects. I don't rest there. I come here 24/7. I run 5 group homes. When the ambulance is passing on the road, I'm lying on my bed. I shake because I think they're coming to my group home. So I've never had a vacation. I am going to have a vacation. It wasn't intended for that, but that is what I'm going to have, a vacation, because I don't have a choice. Once I'm in there, I will not hear no ambulance going to my group homes. I will not be involved in trying to do CPR for people that collapse and I have to get them going. I won't be worried about payroll, whether it's met or not. I will not worry about whether my 18-year-old is staying the course or not. Other people will have to step in there, and it's an enjoyable experience because it will be like you are while you are living, you are watching what will happen if you were dead. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about that?
Well, not really, not really.
Okay, listen, you need to recognize that I'm not trying to be bashful, prideful. You ask about my real life, and one thing I don't do is, and I try not to lie. I will not sit before you and lie that I don't ever lie. I make an effort not to lie. It's the reason I didn't go for trial. I'm telling you, I am going to have a vacation. I know that I will be able to at least sleep 8 hours. I know that this fat on my body, I will cut it down. I know that I will heal myself because I will be able to make other friends while in jail. I do know that the monies I spend when I'm outside, because I take care of so many people, I will not be able to spend all that money. Even if I spend some, I give a lot away. I do give a lot of my money away. Even if I do give that, and I do that not because I have a lot, I do that because the people that approach me as far as needy people are much, and sometimes I don't even know how to not help. Just by not being my phone not being connected to them, how will I know all their problems? So in general, I'm going for a vacation. It will be a vacation.
That is a very
There will be
positive
you,
way
there,
of.
there, there, there will be consequences like I won't be able to open my fridge and take just what I want to take and
And
eat.
you won't be able to eat what
I,
probably what you want if you were at home
I will
too.
not be able to eat my kati.
Where do you get
That
kati
keeps me
kati in
fat.
America?
My brother, but then when I come out and I eat it, it will be a whole lot sweeter. Are you getting me?
Okay.
So let's not make pretense. I've not come here to please anybody or to annoy anybody. I've simply come here. I accepted to come because I feel like we have all long known who our enemy is. Let's not let our enemy keep using us against us. It's time for us to put ourselves together and go for the enemy because the enemy have the right now the enemy is confused. And
Right.
I want to define who the enemy is. The enemy is the Bulu Beti slash Anglophone elite that are
On that thought.
destroying
Hold on that thought.
Cameroon and Ambazonia.
Yes, hold on that
Mhm.
thought. We're going to get into it. But as I stated in my monologue, you and I, we've not. I mean, we've had our own fair share of disagreements over the years, attacks and counter attacks in the course of this struggle. In spite of that, I thought this must be a moment of solidarity. Is it the same thing, the same message that you are getting from other Ambazonians out there at this moment?
Well, when I was to come here, some Amazonians were the opinion that I shouldn't go to your show, that you have been unkind to me, and you've done things that were not good to the revolution. Others had the opinion that I should go and I should bring issues like this up that you've brought and make sure that before we finish here, you can also internally examine yourself and make amends with those that you might have annoyed using your platform. I said I was going to mention it, and I'm thinking you are giving me that opportunity now to mention it. And I'm going to say this. I came here with a message of forgiveness, love, and grace. But I know that forgiveness is not effective when people are not repentant. But repentance is a matter of the heart, and it's foolishness for me to demand that of people when they are not ready. So I am going to leave that up to Chris for him to examine going forward and recognize the seriousness that some of us take these things, and then do your own thing. I'm doing mine. You called me and I told you I'm going to come on, and I gave you certain things, my approach to the whole thing, and you agreed and brought me on. So I don't have any issues when it comes to things that are internal issues that people need to deal with by themselves.
Well, it is interesting you mentioned those things. When I thought about having you on, I wasn't thinking about going to litigate anything, any differences that we've had in the past, because I don't think this is the right moment for it. Maybe some other day we may have opportunity to talk about that. But coming at this moment to go back and begin to litigate, I think is being unreasonable. Let's focus now a little bit on Cameroon. La Republique, they will be celebrating out there saying they put another Ambazonian in jail. They put another Ambazonian in jail, and you know what they do. What message would you have for them?
The message I will have for the elites and the Petit Bulu tribal people that have hijacked the leadership of the two nations that came together to attempt to live together. The message I'll have for them is that let them know that they are on their own. The Cameroon citizens are not with them, and the Ambazonian citizens are not with them. They have attempted to distort history and confuse the suffering Cameroonians and the suffering Ambazonians, and have made it such that every time we Ambazonians want to talk about what the truth is, they use diplomatic high grounds to muddle the water, turn around and attempt to call us terrorists, turn around and attempt to say there's violence on both sides, turn around and attempt to say we are divided.
Right.
As though when America was becoming independent, we don't have cases like Benjamin Franklin, whose son was a governor of Massachusetts, who fought for the British, and his father fought for the Americans. Was that not division?
Exactly.
Why do they
it's
think
interesting that you brought that up, and I think this is a subject that Ambazonians need a lot of education on, because the international community, they always want us to know you cannot make it, as if they are doing the bidding for la République du Cameroon. They say you cannot, you are too divided, yeah, divisions are there, but where haven't there been divisions when it comes to liberation struggle or even democratic fights? Where have they been? South Africa was a good example. You mentioned the US here. 35% of Americans wanted to stay with the British. If that wasn't division, I don't know what it was. So go on, please.
And the point is that they seem to think that we who started trying to defend ourselves without any prior training, we are supposed to perform better than the countries that were already organized in fighting. They throw that at us, that we are too divided, we are too this. You know, I've always said that division for us, knowing the enemy that we are up against, which is France. France is the reason why we have the leadership of Cameroon the way it is. So if we can look at France's way of dealing, we will soon realize that they are very cunning. And if we had been all in one group from the beginning, they would have rallied us all up like they did Seseko and the interim government and locked them up, and there's no more story. They are having a difficulty because we are so fragmented, and they know that when they pick up one group, the other group is talking.
Yeah.
I say this because, and because of that now, that's the only way that they keep talking. You hear all their allies keep saying, oh, we are too divided, we are too divided. It doesn't take everybody coming together in that way that they are saying it for us to get ahead. It takes a core group of people knowing what they are doing, implementing the things that other liberations have implemented to succeed. The problem that we need to resolve in that, though, is that we need to come to a point where we have identified in all this mess those who are capable of speaking on our behalf, and have them be in such a way that they cannot be all rounded up or all bribed up or all killed. So those are the three strategies. If they cannot round you, if they cannot bribe you, they're going to try to lock you up, they'll blackmail you.
Yeah.
They can't blackmail you, they'll try to lock you up. They can't lock you up, they'll just try to simply kill you. So these are the strategies that they've used forever. We know that that's what France does. France does that all the time. I don't know what is wrong with France. And so because France does that, of course, I'm not having British off the hook. America is my country. I will continue before I put them totally condemn. I will attempt to be a patriot on their side. So we'll talk about that internally. But France and Britain, they are the original co-conspirator in the matter of our not being independent today. America voted for our independence. And if
Right.
they later on did not follow up to see what their vote, what became of their vote, those are matters within the house that if we were more organized, we can kind of straighten those things out. And we will be organized. We don't have a choice. The beauty about our revolution is that Cameroon is the one that generates amber. They're the ones, because of their inability to be fair, they generate amber. And that's how I know there will always be amber until we get justice.
You know that proponents of one Cameroon and those who call blacklegs and enablers, looking at your case and others will say, uh, those other ambers in the diaspora, I hope they learn a lesson. I hope they learn a lesson as they too will go to jail like Mangan. What message do you have for Ambazonians in the forefront of the struggle, seeing what you are going through?
What lessons do they think
Because
that they will learn?
let me
And the
just
people,
add something to it.
yeah.
We are going to the seventh year of this war. And for 7 years, there are Ambazonians in the diaspora who will not as much as have their faces outside to be seen. And when things like this happen to you and others, it pushes others or want to push others to pull even further backward. What message do you have for such people? Because the idea for the enemy is to make sure that we're all chicken out, and if you are not standing up with courage like you are doing now, let everybody chicken out and let the struggle be over. What advice would you give to such people who are timid?
Well, I think Seseko answered it well in one of his write-ups. He said that you cannot cage an eagle and then it turned out to become a chicken. And I don't think eagles appreciate chickens around them disturbing. So let the chickens stay where they deserve to be, out of the revolution. Let the eagles take it up and serve.
Okay. Okay. Do you sometimes feel like people who attack you and say, "My gang, you got your word," or "Finally, you got it"? Do you feel like these are the same people? I mean, do you feel angry, bitter that these are the same people you're fighting for, you're going to jail for, who are saying stuff like this?
I don't think anything is happening nowadays that didn't happen in years past in other nations and everything. And I think that Churchill, the one of the
Former Prime
leaders
Minister
in
of England.
Britain, he once said that he could have done more. I think that's him. If it's not him, somebody said it, that they could have done more for their people, except that he was only using one hand. I'm paraphrasing, because the other hand is he spent using that other hand to fend off his own people that were trying to hold him back. So I think he already experienced what I'm experiencing now. It's unfortunate that I'm having to use him, but his wordings are appropriate as to what I have to say to those people. I just think that when they are doing that, they are just Chris have answered the question, I think.
What message do you have for Ground Zero? I know lots of them, millions of them are watching at you now, and I believe they are shaking and nodding their heads in disbelief.
The message I have for Ground Zero is that they should stay the course of the fighting. defend them, because what they are doing is defending themselves. Just wait, Chris.
Right.
Don't interrupt. 1 minute. 1 minute. So they should stay the course. I have to be very clear about this, because I'm not going to mix my words here. I'm not accusing America that I had the notion that I need to help my people to defend themselves from an enemy, a suppressor, an occupier that harmed them. That's not what I'm being charged for. That's not what I'm. If that was the case, they would tell my lawyer to tell me about that. I would have been in court talking about that. It's not my freedom of speech about telling my people that they should stand their ground, that they're after. If they're after that, then we'll have to talk about that. My point that I'm making is that so long as the international community that has all the might are not going to send a fact-finding mission down there to find out who are those committing the crimes, who are those committing those crimes, hideous crimes, killing people, slaughtering people's children, and doing these evil things. If they're not going to send that, they're going to be allocating Cameroon government to do it for them. Then I'm going to say to my brothers and sisters that are in the bush, stay in the bush. Do not surrender for no reason. The international community, if they don't have shame if they have even an ounce of shame in themselves, they will not demand that of anybody. Who surrenders and goes under to be enslaved in this time and age? Who? Why do they think that that's good for us Africans? And how do they think that the world is going to go on when all these humiliations are taking place all over the place? What is going on? So, message to my people that are defending themselves. These are people who came out with branches. These are people whom the former ambassador to America made a point to say the government burned their houses, arrest them and put them without trial, refuse them justice. It's there in the American records. It's their representative that said it. It's not me. That was his observation. So my point is that if they can have identified that Paul Biya did all these things, they are continuously doing it, then any government that is coming and trying to stop me from telling our boys to hold their ground, I'm here now. I'm not running. I'm one person that can never run. If I have said something, I stand behind what I say, and I don't say the things idly. I want that this issue be resolved. The international community did a disfavor to our people. Our people are good people. We don't deserve what is going on, even not for the resources that they want. There are civil ways to deal with resources taken or exchanging. We're not going to mix words here. Africans are tired of this foolishness. We are just tired. As a mother, I'm tired. The African child needs to have a place they can put their heads. We don't need to be running all over the world looking like people that God did not intend for their feet to touch the ground. I'm done with this. I am a mother. I spoke in court, and one of the emphasis I made in court was that when a black African mother is tired, frustrated, trying to figure out, brought her complaint to the commissioners or to the chief or to the palace or whatever, and they are not listening, the next thing she does is lift up her skirt and expose her nakedness, because then it will pull the necessary, it should anyway, pull the necessary attention that is needed. In America, they have a law to punish you if you did that. But I had my own ways to deal with the same thing. My doing what I did was out of that same expression. I lifted up my skirt. Where do you find a mother going to learn how to load bullets? What do you guys think that was? You use that as some negative thing. You go around talking, oh, she loaded. In America, you can do that. If you couldn't do that, that would have been part of the crime that I committed. Since I've been hearing all this falsehood, I'm coming here on this air to clear the air. If that was a crime, it would be listed. The prosecutor would have listed it. It's not a crime in America. Because until I got trial and sentence, I was a free citizen. I still am a free human being. So my point remains, we are going to make sure we take every opportunity we have to make this problem we have go away. If the issue is that the state don't want to see people carrying guns, the state should not be exacerbating the people. They need to stop stressing their people. So long as they stress their people and then they lie about the facts, we're going to sustain this fight until the hypocritical international community start paying attention. There's no point. It's not life that is the most. I always have a saying that I say what? The worst thing is in life is not death. It's living an unfulfilled life. Life in itself has no value except you can show what you did with the life that was given to you.
Thank you, Ngang. That is quite inspiring there. Please stay put in there. I will go out for 1 second, and when I come back, I will open the phone lines. I believe Ground Zero would want to talk to you. So please stay put. Thank you for staying put there, ladies and gentlemen. At this moment, I would like to open the phone lines for those of you who would like to say a thing or two to Ngang to call in and with your contributions. But if you are calling from anywhere, before you call, just make sure that the volume of your television set is tuned down, and you are focused on your phone. Make sure again the volume of your set is tuned down before you call. And when you call just for 1 minute. Call just for 1 minute, so that as many people as possible can call. The number is right there on your screen. I think some people already are sending messages. I will come back to this. Okay, again, the phone line is open there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, somebody writes from Ground Zero, and it says, "Hello, Comrade Chris. Good evening from this end. Oh, what a great mother, Comrade. Please pass this message to our mother that we love her in her courage, and we know the Almighty God continue to protect her and keep all of them, for I know that the Almighty God will change the story. Please, we are pleading with you, Comrade, keep the faith. Keep that faith. For it is not easy for Ambazonia. Ambazonia depends on you. Tell Ma that her children are proud of her." Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Again, the phone line is open. If you want to call in, go ahead and call in, either from the diaspora or anywhere. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Mr. President. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
I'm calling you from South Asia.
Okay, and what is your contribution?
I want
Hold
to
on,
just salute our,
hold on, please. Hold on, please. Let's adjust this first. All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think I lost the caller. All right, hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, sir. Good evening, good afternoon. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from upstate New York in the USA.
Upstate New York, USA. Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
Yeah, I wanna thank Ngang for all what she has done for the struggle, and I just wanna tell her that we seriously stand behind her, and she should stay strong. She should stay strong. Her brilliant enthusiasm. So many people thought she's different. She's gonna be like treated. The way she spoke with a lot of eloquent, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the way she spoke, and I wanna tell her she's not alone. Not alone. Sufferings that people are going. It's never gonna end in. It's never gonna end. So I wanna thank you more for what you've been doing. You've been a great statesman, and I admire your work, man. Keep up, man. Just keep up with what you're doing. We find it difficult to get to you, but when you come up with shows like this, it was the urge to want to support this struggle much more than what we have been doing, man.
Thank you. That's good to know.
Yeah, you got my contact, everything. So we're gonna make sure upstate in New York, Canada, we're gonna make sure you receive our own part, the contributions for the struggle within the coming days. So
wonderful.
After the show, I'll make sure I get back to you, and you receive our own share of our contribution for the struggle. We need more fight power. As Ngang said, our people have the right to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to leave the bush. Nobody is leaving the bush. We will defend ourselves to the last man standing.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead. I know lots of people are trying to call, but the lines are busy. Go ahead and call now. Go ahead and call. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
Calling from Maryland.
Okay.
Sebastian Barrico.
Oh, all right.
Yes. I want to give a special thank you message to Ngang. And Ngang, if you are listening to me, we Ambazonians, we love you. We of the IG, we love you. And you will not be by yourself. We will be behind you. And again, no, in America, 3 years is just like 3 days. So it's going to be, it's just going to be like night and day. Before you know, you'll be out with us. And again, I know that as you'll be in there, you'll keep advising us on what to do out here. Again, thanks for the unitary message you were passing on. And when you are there, please still keep us in mind, and you'll have more time there to be able to reflect and direct us on how to go on with the struggle out here. Again, thanks for the courage. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Mr. President.
Yes, I can hear you. Go on.
Okay, thank you. I want to give praise one God salute for our mommy we don't put in life. One for there we say, do why shake not. This is I want to tell our mommy say, shake not day. This way you leave this struggle, you want to come out after these 3 years, we don't give you. If God help you, we see say we already there. We are want to tell you, say me God bless you. And not say as we go, so we're not going to leave you down. We don't be in this together. You don't summon the courage for things speaking and understand my stand. You not be one of them. I mean, the way they want to celebrate day for hotel and then you put down for social media. You be really the amber. You be one mommy we got wrong here. So we want to you say, even as we do so, no picking them they back with the day for shaking what they have to tell you. I want you to say thank you, God bless you, and not get left. Sitting there for talk. Oh, you don't.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, please.
All right, thank you for the call. Ngang, how do you feel hearing callers like this?
Well, I'm grateful. There are many people. At one time, I was a young girl. I went to Seka Baptist College. If you know that college, most of we, when we go there, even if you're not a shy person, they train you to try to be shy. So as we've grown and taken different roles and position in life, some people wear their motherhood better than others. But it is not a role that is an easy role to occupy. I would hate to ever think that I occupy a role that I've not been equipped for. If my people see that I'm equipped for the role and they call me out to serve, I never will hesitate. And when they come talking to me, recognizing me as a mother, all I can say is, I am grateful.
Wonderful. All right, let's continue with the calls. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
Calling from Boya.
Okay. Boya Ground Zero, what is in your mind?
I wish just to applaud the courage Ngang has as a patriot.
Wonderful. Okay.
She's courage. That gives some impetus to those who are in the ground like us. That she knows that God is and we are behind her. And again, to you, President Prince, Ngang said something that is very important. You have a cause in your mind as you are expressing. You calling Ngang to this program to talk should us that really you are a patriot. You have us in your heart. Continue like that.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, thank you, sir.
Courage. Just like
Right.
how that meets Ambazonia. Liberated.
All right, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the phone line is open. Go ahead and call. The phone line is open. Waiting for your calls. Do you feel like a hero, Ngang, when you hear calls like these ones? Do you feel like you are a hero or a heroine as a woman? All right, hold on there. Let's get this caller first, and then we'll get back to that. Hello. Hello, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, I'm calling from the great city of Atlanta in America.
Okay. Oh, I lost that caller. Please call back. Hello.
Hello, Mr. President. Good afternoon.
This must be Ma Franca, I guess.
This is Ma Franca. I cannot let my sister go without calling to appreciate her.
Wonderful. I can see her smiling. She knows the voice.
Hello,
yes.
hello.
My dear sister, I'm just calling. We are all behind you. You are a strong mother, a strong Ambazonia hero, and we are behind you.
We might not be there physically with you, but we are there in spirit. We are there in prayers. We'll pray for you to come up stronger, and we truly love you. I'm just going to tell you that we love you so much, and on behalf of Ambazonian women who might not call in today, I just want to let you know that we appreciate you. We are with you, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. President, for bringing her so that some of us can express our love, how we appreciate Ngang from ground zero to the diaspora. She knows we've disagreed on certain things in the past, but when it's time for trouble, we rally behind her. We are together, and we are the same people fighting the same cause.
All right.
So
Thank you.
Stay safe and stay healthy.
Thank you. Thank you. I see this is the Honorable Anne Inde, the chair lady of the Restoration Council. Hello.
Hello, Mr. President. Thank you for bringing our Iron Lady Ngang to the show. Ngang, you look amazing. I think if this is how somebody who has just been sentenced has to look, I want to be sentenced alongside with you, my dear. I am so proud of you. Know that we, the women, are behind you. You have our support. We are not going to relent. Before you know that the 48 months that they gave you will become 48 days, because we are going to, this has just given us a reason to fight, and we will fight with you in our minds. You are not alone, we are with you, so be strong, be strong. Ambazonia is with you. Thank you very much for your commitment, for standing and for going down this lane because of a free homeland that you so much desire. I dove my heart for you, ma. Thank you very much. But know that we got your back anytime, any day. And Mr. President, thank you once more for bringing her to this wonderful show.
All right. Thank you. God bless. All right. Ngang, just hold on in there. Let's take these callers and then we'll give you the last word. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
Okay. What is your contribution?
Good. I just wish to have a contribution from Ngang and something for you. But first, to Ngang, I wish to tell her that God is with her, and her spirit is a spirit that all of us Ambazonians should have, both abroad and Ground Zero. We should never be frightened by the price we need to pay in order to have our free homeland. Whoever is paying the price, he should know the best person who paid the price to free us is Jesus Christ, and he went to Jerusalem knowing what will happen to him. I couldn't imagine whether if she was doing all these things, knowing what will happen. But if some of us should know that some of these things will happen to us, our spirit and the spirit of others who are in jail, and while in jail they're still fighting, should encourage us. And I'm telling you, ma, those of us on the ground will be encouraged by your attitude, by the way you have accepted this thing. In fact, you are disgracing the enemy in public.
Yeah.
You have made the enemy to be tongue-tied, because they thought that you'll be crying, you come on television, you'll be regretting, you'll be thinking that you could have been on the side of the enemy, but you're telling the enemy that you're still on course. And that's the message that everybody, like Sisiku Ayub Tabe, like Abdul Karim, and all those who are in jail, they're telling them, even at their backyard, that they can kill them, but they will not kill the spirit of the struggle. You are in jail, but the struggle is not in jail. And you being in jail, like Paul says, that he's in chain, but the gospel is not chain. You being in jail will foster the cause of this struggle more and more. God, the Lord be with you, and may his grace keep you there. You come, while there you have many more ideas to inspire those who are fighting, because there you have enough time to reflect. You have enough time to think, and you come out with something that even those who are thinking to fight in future, they might quote you, they might use the ideas that you are to give them, and they will succeed. See it as a moment of blessing, and I wish all Ambazonians to see it as a moment of blessing. It is not a curse. Everything works for good for those who love God and put their trust in him. In Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 18, in everything give thanks to God, for that is the will of God for you. It was the persecution that caused the gospel to be spread from one place to another. You're going to jail, you don't know. You cannot know what is happening now. But the time is coming that you say that, thanks be to God. He did it and he did it well. He knew why he did it that way. And you glorify God for this. God bless you so much. For Comrade Priest, I have something I wish to share with you, but I wish to share with you at the background. It's not something to talk on the television. I wish that you could really give me a chance to talk with you. God bless you all.
Send me a message so that when I see your number and see the message, I will call and I can call you. Thanks for the call.
God bless you.
All right. Which caller is this? Who missed that caller? Please continue to call. Go ahead and call. Missing quite a number of calls here, unfortunately. Good evening, comrade, and your guest. Let me get this caller first. Hello, this is Ma Tengo.
You're right. Ngang courage. I just want to, yes, that's right. Right, Comrade Chris.
Yes.
I want to sing a little song for you.
For me or for Ngang?
Ngang.
You will sing a good one for me. Now all over Ngang you will sing.
No, if I sing about Ngang, then I will come to you.
Because I'm jealous now.
No, don't jealous. We're together.
All right. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Courage, sister, do not stumble. Though the path be dark as night, there's a star to guide their home. Trust in God and do the right. So proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
all right. Good to hear your voice, ma'am. Have a great night.
Okay, thank you. You too.
All right. Okay, somebody writes here. Good evening, comrade. In your guest, happiness is a choice we have chosen as a people and a nation. As Bo, the construction here is a little incohesive, and I can't get the message. But thank you, sir, for the message. Let's see who is calling next. Hello. Hello.
Comrade, this is Comrade Frank. I want to say hello to Ngang and to the Ambazonians and the televiewers of ABS TV. My contribution, sir, if you permit me, is that we have seen nations, entire nations like the United States of America make mistakes. For instance, going into Iraq with issues that they finally discovered that were not there. But they did so, I think, because they saw the imminent danger that was posing to America. So, what is happening to us as Ambazonians is as a result of the terrible provocation from La République Cameroon, to the point that now we see that we are being extinct from the surface of the earth, and the world is like giving a blind eye. So, like Ngang has clearly said, that was not our intention to break any law in the United States of America, and the Justice Department of this country knows that this lady has lived for so many years, for decades in this country, and she has nothing, I say nothing against her. So, yes, she said she was sorry because she did that, it was against the law, and she did so as a result of the terrible provocation. The trauma we're going through is, unacceptable. So I want to believe that the Justice Department of the U.S. will do herself justice to prove to the world that she still holds on to her principles by making sure that Ngang will not spend even half of of that time that they read out as a sentence, on her. We also know that Manga is of exemplary behavior, and we know that people are being released earlier from their sentences that they serving in jail as a result of that good behavior. So, based on that, I am hoping that the Department of Justice will do just the right thing. Yeah, the law has been applied, but let also humanity come in and let those considerations that she so deserves be also applied. I hope to see Manga here, in the next few months after she is booked in. So I want her to continue to be strong, to understand that all Ambazonians are with her, and we will never give up fighting for our rights. We will never. Nothing shall stop us as Ambazonians from getting our, our rights. We will get our nation back. We will get our freedom back, and our restoration of our independence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mangang, I will let you respond to many of these callers briefly before we continue with the calls. Please go on. Whatever you have to say to them.
Well, I'll start with the question you asked me. You asked me if I feel like a hero, and I was going to answer you, then you stopped.
Right.
But my answer to that is that word hero is given to people who fought, died. It's a title given to people who have done good work and then they died away. I'm still living, Chris. So I'm not about to start taking titles that it's just like putting the face of somebody on the currency of the country. They do that. My experience has been that in America is mostly dead people that they put there after they've done their deed and gone. So no, I'm no hero. I am a mother who came from that part of the world, who has only seen suffering for her people, and I'm now in a position where, as hard as they try to deny us a platform to express our grievances, I am seizing any opportunity to make sure that that platform appears.
Wonderful. All right. Let me read. Somebody writes here. Comrade Chris, greetings and congratulations to my Ngang for what she has spoken there on TV. Also, let her know she remains our hero. Thank you so very much for bringing her on. Okay. Somebody else, right? Oh, Comrade Chris, please, one more thing. Okay, no, this is not for this. Somebody write, please, sir, the sentence you are struggling to pronounce is a name given to those who graduated from the Baptist College, Victoria. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay, hello, Comrade Chris. I'm writing from Ground Zero. I just wanted to thank Ma on her courage and to tell her that 3 years will just pass like 3 days, and before she knows it, she will be out to continue the struggle. Thank you. Okay. I still have 10 minutes to be here, and the phone line is still open. I know many people have been trying to call, but they can't get through. You can go ahead and try to call again. The line is free now. Go ahead and try to call. So, Mangan, let me get back to you. Again, this is very strange to those back home, especially where they call underdeveloped or developing countries, that you are sentenced. You are still a free woman outside. In fact, you are told to show up any day you want, right?
Well,
within 2 months.
Like I said before, on the 21st of June, by 2 p.m. I should have reported. Anytime from now, I can go in. There are
Right.
some people opting to go earlier. There are people who have been given 3 months. Some people have asked for more time. They've given them 4 months before they will turn in themselves. So that's just to tell you. I mean, brother, I don't know if I can explain that any
But that
further.
is the
So the
beauty
point is,
of the American justice system, that you can
yeah.
be
So
sentenced
we're gonna,
to over 3 years and you are told, go home. You have 2 months to do anything you want to do, and show up anytime within those 2 months and we'll put you behind bars.
yes,
Think about that.
right. And this is the point, though. This is true to Americans' justice system. Of course, we know the justice system is cannot be perfect. Human systems are not perfect, but
Correct.
they are attempting to do what? We are citizens.
Right.
They know that we had functional lives, and we will need to adjust things before we get in. The punishment is not to destroy us. The
Right.
punishment is to deter us. So if you're going to try to deter somebody, you need to be able to assess what is sufficient deterrence and what is damage. America, my country, is not trying to damage me, my people. I have American citizens living in my house. What would be the point of them trying to damage me and damage them? They try to deter. That is understood. The message is clear. The
Isn't
message
that
was clear from before.
maybe you should tell them, isn't that what we are fighting for in Ambazonia? A fair justice
Well,
system.
and my dear, that is the point. The point is that how do we eat omelets without breaking eggs? We have to figure out. That's the whole idea, that the democracy or the orderliness. I use the word orderliness because trust me, there's no democracy in a human family. A human family, the father doesn't eat the same size of meat like the children, or they don't make decisions the same. It's not the most of the systems that function in this way are not democratic. In my business, it's not democratic because the workers are not having the same privilege as I, the owner. In the church, there's most of those youths that make up the world are not democratic. Okay, so but the point that I'm trying to make is that we are going to uh, 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 stick with the law because it's the next best thing. It's not perfect. So, Chris, I lost my train of thought.
Well, but I think you get the point
It's
you are
good.
trying.
Let me come
are
back
trying
to.
to
I
say.
mean, what was your question before I went off?
No,
that
you got
hardly
the point.
happens to me.
I was saying that look at how in the civilized society justice is handled. You go to trial, they give you 48 months in jail, but they say to
Okay.
you, go back home and spend 2 months, do what you want to do, show
Right,
up
right.
in prison
Okay.
anytime you want. Isn't this what
Right,
we are looking for in the free and independent Ambazonia? Isn't what we are
right.
fighting,
I think
going to jail and dying for?
right. I think everything summed up together. Even the prosecutors, they understand that I'm not a terrorist. I'm not gonna stay out here and risk doing more harm to people or how to ship another truckload of anything anywhere. So they know that trying to overpunish me is like pulling a spring to the extent that it doesn't spring back. That would not be the case. I told you in court gave me an opportunity to tell him who I am. And when I did tell him who I am, he had the latitude now to then in other ways. And one of it is not allowing me to be rushed in jail when I have family, grandkids, kids, business. I have other things I need to put together. So uh, that's what we would like to see in Cameroon and in
Absolutely. Not in
Ambazonia.
Cameroon, in
I always
Ambazonia.
speak. I said in Cameroon and Ambazonia. I
Okay.
always, if you notice, I speak for the two countries. because the people are the same. The leader,
Right.
and you see, I accuse the leadership of Cameroon that has some of our people fronting like representative for on behalf of us over there. There are two nations, no matter what anybody is saying. And Chris, one thing I want to point out to you that I've noticed is that I was watching a clip from a British Parliament. It's an old clip. I think it's a parliamentarian laying our case to the British people and then making suggestions on our behalf. And when you look at the suggestions that he was making, they are still half-baked suggestions. Talking about federation,
Yeah, yeah.
with us being like some kind of a confederation type of a setup, right?
Right.
Still attaching us to these same perpetrators. And I was listening and saying to myself, that can only be happening because
Those are
these
half
people
measures.
still
That's
think.
not what we are fighting and dying and going to jail for.
No, they still think that they are sitting on some pedestal where they can keep dictating to people what they think they should have. That's why when we say
Yeah.
we are Amazonians, this Ambazonia and Cameroon is still the State Department in America is still talking about, oh, we still recognize the integrity of the country. Well, if you are recognizing the integrity of the country, then you should go all the way to the UN law that said that territorial the countries are determined by the territorial boundaries at the time of independence.
Independence.
Was the Cameroon government, the Cameroon country having Ambazonia as part of them at their time of independence? What is all this mumbo jumbo? So you see, we're gonna stay true to the cause. You see, America is a great nation. It is great because of the diversification of people that have come in here. It's not great because of any one race of people that came in before. And it's the fault of any race or anybody that comes and become part of America to allow other people that have been here before to start telling them that they are less patriotic than the other. I don't allow that. I go up to their face and tell them, you are not any more patriotic than I am. On a daily basis, I clean shit. And it don't matter whether it's a green man, yellow man, blue man, all their shit smells the same. And as a nurse, I clean it without complaining. So you don't come and tell me you're more patriotic than I am. If I see America going wrong, I don't need to take permission from anybody. I'll pick a loudspeaker and walk on my street and start educating the everyday working class American and telling them what is wrong in America. And right now, my brother, I'm embarrassed. You can see America is going around trying to make cases that they've used to make with no difficulties and having difficulties in African countries. Is that not an embarrassment to you and me from America? I mean, Americans from Africa. It's total embarrassment. America has an advantage with us. Our culture, they cultured us. Their institutional system, we are the ones they've taught us. With their language, we are speaking their language, and all these things. What the hell do they need again to have had an advantage where they utilize us? They didn't. They renegated us substandard citizens, standard, substandard. I mean the fact that we who come from sub-Saharan Africa, they will prefer not to deal with us and go dealing with crooks who are holding their people down with iron fists. And then they turn around and we are here playing geopolitics. It's crazy. I am not going to be politically correct. I will put that all day. Anybody, my life is the way God has allowed it to be. If I say anything out of my mouth that is not good, it will only be used to make me be more disciplined. If I'm saying things that are good, more power that would have been put there by God. My life is that which is dedicated to my people and to humanity.
All right. That is well said, Ngang. And I want to say it was a great pleasure to have you here on set. And listen, I want to assure you that we are all behind you. We are all behind you in our prayers. I wish there was anything we could do other than pray that you get in there, stay strong, and come out healthy and strong, and continue with the fight. But again,
Chris,
yes.
let me interrupt you.
Okay.
You cut me short when I was giving a message to the boys
Okay.
in Ground Zero. I want to seize that opportunity once more.
Go
Then
on,
you can
please.
conclude and I'll be fine. I want to tell the boys that are defending our villages not to stop going to the DDR. The killing in Santa was a direct result of Grandpa going to DDR. They don't spare. They take you and come back and make you kill your own. Don't go there. If government was sincere with the disarmament project, he wouldn't have those boys sitting there having some out on social media provoking us even more as though we don't have a justification for defending ourselves. They are not doing the right thing. No government is going to come and tell me otherwise. I will quarrel them. So don't go to DDR. Hear me well. Do not go to DDR. You go to DDR, you become an effective military under La Republic. That's what everybody is seeing. The international community is seeing that. That's what they are doing with the boys. Don't go there. And when you go there, they come now and kill your own. That's one. The second thing, I want to tell you something about surrendering. It's a very bad thing to surrender when you have consciously made up your mind to go at your enemy. Do not surrender. You can take a rest. Get somewhere else and go and get your rest. Do not surrender to your enemy because you did kill their kids. You killed their kids. They will not forgive you. Cameroon has a history of that. That's why Cameroon has been a dictator, has had dictators run them for all these years, because they went after all their freedom fighters and destroyed them. That's why it's taking this long. And even when we have stood up and resisted, you don't see their citizens pick up and do anything because they did a number on them. Ambazonians do not lose sense. Don't lose sense. I don't talk. I don't turn for talk for pigeon because I make all mommy and papa they hear me inside village. If your boy picking or girl picking they fight, he decides say for he want resign, don't let them. Don't let them. No green. I don't talk, he finished. Do not accept. If we do not stay on this fighting, even the inch of things, the exposure that we have exposed Cameroon will not have happened. And you will never understand something. The problem for Cameroon, not be say we not should don't write agreement. The problem I say they need to keep to no agreement. Now the thing where it will be very important for we to get we own defense team so that we will hold them accountable. You see how they be disarm how they call a mobile wing when we just come in, like because they will get an evil intention. Even that small police group where they will come in, they will get an evil intention to get rid of it. They are such cowards. They not be even want their big army for even face the small army group where they bring up. So they get rid of it and then they start their wickedness. So they no get problem for she don't get agreement with we. They get problem for keep those agreements. And so if we go even the cry say dialogue or talking and anything, we will never get an army or get a defense team where it go make sure it hold their foot to the fire for keep any agreements where we don't she don't down do them. Now waste of time. And by the way, the international community, they not see we like anything for borrow with their own military or can't put order for a place. That not me at the top. We don't fear. If they will be, then they know will be quick for send a military for Bosnia when they will get their own trouble, or they help with the Ukraine, whatever they go on there. No one talk too much about them. They know they do all those things and while we dey suffer and they know say will cost be just, will be justified. So you don't see no. If you don't get army and you don't get enough leverage, forget some country may help you with your army for implement agreements they own and she don't agree, then there's no point going to no talking. What is that waste of time? We need to build our own defense team that will hold Cameroon accountable when we have agreements. Then before we can sit and make any agreement. So these stories about ambassadors and people going out and talking about quelling fights and talking about peace. How can there be peace? What kind of moronic talk is that about peace when there's no justice? What provokes insecurity? Is it not injustice? Is it not? What are we talking about? So we need to get it straight in our head. We need not take permission from oppressors. We need not take permission from people benefiting to stand up. And our people, listen, we have the ability. Diaspora, there are proper ways to raise money to help your people. Do that. If you can't do that, our parents already did the job for us. They sent a number of us out here. We can turn around and make friends. Look at the previous administration. They were friendly towards us. This current one, I'm not going to judge them. They're still on. But let me tell you, America does not have no permanent enemies and no permanent friends. Let's do our homework well. We'll soon realize that the same people talking are becoming our friends. I am happy going to jail for the sake of our people. I am happy going to jail for the sake of my people. No crying there. It don't matter. It don't matter what is happening to family back here. I'm happy going to jail for the sake of our people. And I'm happy for America that it has a justice system that is orderly. That's why we come in here. The politics, let it stay behind. We know how to deal with it. I thank you.
All right, Ngang, just before you go, there is a caller here sitting on the line to give some words of compliment to you. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Comrade Chris, Mr. President.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you so much for you. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for bringing Ngang onto this program. Ngang, Abalalindi. You know, on behalf of Ambazonians from Bafut, we want to thank you for being our strength, and we Ambazonians are here to give you our strength. You are one of those heroines of this struggle. You are a great Ambazonian American, and I believe the American system is proud to have conferred their citizenship onto an Ambazonian woman like you, who is willing to defend liberty and the democratic ideals that America is known for standing for. Whoever is advising America about Ambazonia has failed to get them to see that we have more interest in common with them than they have with French Cameroon. Why America appears to be letting themselves to be manipulated by France over Ambazonia, like how they got America entrapped in Vietnam mess, I will never understand. But I digress. Please know that we are with you, and we definitely look forward to receiving you on the day that you come home. Thank you so much for flying your Amba pride loud and proud. God bless you, Ngang, and God bless the people of Ambazonia. We did together.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Well, my gang, let me read this message sent specifically for you. Greetings, Comrade Chris. Tell my gang that God has chosen her to draw and come up with plans to get the independence of Ambazonia within 3 years, 10 months. During her vacation, I agree strongly that this is a vacation and not a jail term. Our ears are open to hear from you, our mother of substance. That is from ground zero. Well, my gang, I am glad I was able to get you to come and listen to your people and express your thoughts with them too. I want to assure you, when they pick up Sisiko and the rest, they picked up thousands of others. They thought that the struggle was dead and gone. Little did they know that if they pick up any of us, there are Ambazonians who will continue to hold the flag and fight on. So let me assure you that for as long as God gives us the grace and enable us to stay out here and continue to fight, we will keep fighting for those of you locked up and killed until we have a free and independent Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. You have nothing to regret about the cost. We will hold the fort. By the grace of God, when you come out, we will say, hey, welcome, comrade, comrade in arms. Actually, you're comrade in arms there. So, but I really want to thank you for showing up. You have a great night, man.
Yeah, and Chris I'll be having, I think from what I'm learning about the jail, they do allow you emails. So I
Oh,
will be
okay.
collecting emails. I just thought I'd take this opportunity. Anybody who wants to hear from me, how I'm doing in jail, my up days and my down days, because I won't be passing any information that has to do too much with things that would incriminate people out here. If I have it, I don't have it. If I'm locked up, how would I have those information? But from what I hear, they're gonna give me an email, and from that email, I can hear stories. You guys, and then
Are
I can
they
put
gonna
it.
give you social media, Facebook, Twitter?
No, 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 no. But I think there'll be computer where you can go and send emails,
Email, okay.
and I'm hoping that I can have a blog. Somebody talked to me about that. I know nothing about it. If I do put it, I'll be
know what?
letting you know so you can advertise it. But anybody
Yes.
who want to be hearing from me can send me their email address,
You know
and
what?
I will use that.
You know one of the things you can do within that time? Write a
Yes.
book. Write a book on the struggle from how we
No,
started
no,
this.
I hear you. I mean, people have
It's a
said things.
good time to sit down and have a cool head and pen something down.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah,
All right.
I mean, like I said, I told you, I didn't tell it bashfully that it's a vacation. It really is. I've worked
Yes.
my whole life. My parents died in my arms here in America. I took care of them before I sent them to bury them in Cameroon. My father lived with me 9 years. I mean, yeah, my mother lived with me 12 years. I worked hard for them, and I'm working hard for other people. So it is a vacation. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. With that, thank you, Ngang. God bless and protect you. Looking forward to talking to you one of these days.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, that was Ngang. Ngang will be serving time in the prison for 48 months for standing, fighting for Ambazonia. Not much to say about that. But before I close the show tonight, I really like to promise La République du Cameroon. We are 8 million of us. 8 million of us. You have a few thousands in your dungeons in your country. The overwhelming majority are still free until independence is achieved for all of us. This thing is not gonna be over. So whether they arrest us, put us in jail, or whatever the case, the war continues. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight. Again, beginning next week, our Facebook page gonna change. We really want to see notifications going out every time we are coming live. So next week our Facebook page is going to change, but we will make sure you remain informed of it. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks for the phone call and the messages. Good night. God bless you all.